Now we're on to the town-wide survey.
Okay, I can bring this all over the place.
Yeah, that's a buckshot.
Yeah, so you have that. Stacy was able to compile all that for us in lightning speed. It's, I don't know if it's scanned out.
Got about the same amount of responses that we normally have at the forum. Yeah,
Not really surprised.
somebody over 100.
Did you say you had 100 responses?
We had 114 actually.
Probably the same people go to town meeting.
Yes, probably. That's about right. Yeah.
I don't know.
And the same people who are computer literate.
So I'll get that out there for everyone to read.
That should be in the packet if you want to pull up on my screen. I think you
Yeah,
put in the agenda.
I wasn't sure if I only had all, wasn't sure if I had, did I have all of it?
I've got all of it. Yeah.
Okay, because there were 8 questions and I thought that I only had, but I can.
I think that's like 5% or less than 5% of the taxable structures in the community that responded.
Yeah.
I-
It was a little hard to return. I filled mine out, but it's still on the phone. But if you were to bring it back, like you'd either have to do it in person or you'd mail it, and essentially people would put their return address. And I personally wouldn't care if the info was, but maybe some people thought they're gonna know who I am, so maybe they didn't want to. Whereas if you did it in online one, maybe next time, and you wouldn't know who did who answered.
Yeah, all 8 are in here.
I don't
Just
just
back it.
Yes.
As a renter, I just
No, it was, we talked about that, before we sent it out.
Text means
And,
submit the vehicle.
and we decided to use because there was no extra cost to the town to put it out to do tax bills. But I don't disagree. It was a concern of mine that we weren't reaching out to the indirect, the indirect taxpayers in town.
Would be a good way of doing that.
I don't know how we know who renters are. I mean, good question.
You'd have to do a targeted research, probably figure out what the variables are, who you're trying to reach your audience and try to hold to it. Probably have to,
Could you do a survey like on the website? Would you know who responding to? Okay, so it would have to be a resident. You'd have to have some way of proving that they were a resident of Vassalboro.
Yeah. I mean, I had an email asking a question about the survey and I didn't recognize the name and it took me a while to respond because the first thing I did was email to Aaron saying, is this a town resident that I'm responding to?
Mm.
And they were able to find out, and it took a few days to get that information and get back to the person. No, it wasn't my mother. She just calls. She doesn't do email.
So do you want to review this or what you thought?
I think,
10 minutes to 9, and I mean, you can memorize it.
here.
Yeah, good.
Slowly.
Okay.
We
Well,
can read it while they do
I could bring it here.
Okay.
So we had 8 questions. We sent this out in the tax billing. First question was, would you favor a town ordinance that would help prevent phosphorus runoff entering local waterways? 81 yes, 13 no. Some people, so there's a lot of responses here.
so first 3 questions were planning board, what they asked us to tag those 3 questions into the,
Should commercial development be limited to certain sections of town? 74 said yes, 20 said no. But then there's, it depends on the types of business.
It's the big D word, which is.
It's not just a yes or no answer anyway. I mean, those are
Yeah.
discussion based questions.
Yes.
Yes.
Do you support town promoting the preservation of land for conservation and or recreation? 87 yes, no 15.
The biggest question is when you look at the population overall, how accurate is that, based on the sampling, because it's a very small sampling.
I think it's kind of food for thought. Number 4, what is your preferred method of learning about town events? We got newsletter, local newsletter, email, social media, website.
Did you break that down into numbers? What thing came up the most? Or did you just list out what people
It's
said?
just listed. So
It would be nice to know what came up on top or even the top.
I
3.
agree. I agree, Vicky. Yeah, that would be good. We kind of scrambled to get this done for the meeting.
Surveys was not listed in there, were they?
I think the
We go
real,
further into that though, Vicky.
Aren't you curious? Like,
Yes. Now that you mentioned
want to
it,
reach
yes.
your town members, I mean.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think the main idea was just to try to get some conversation about,
Yeah.
Yeah. What changes would you like to see in town? Open-ended.
the pulse of the community.
Forums for discussing town issues that are moderated, more family, multi-generational opportunities, water recreation, arts, music center. We could provide transportation for kids to Waterville, I guess. Connecting people, adults in town. More commercial, moratorium on energy line, photo ID for voting, more green space, public access for swimming, more business zoning, improvements in Weber Pond, EV cars. This is banned solar panels, EV cars and trucks. Tax EV car and trucks, $500 for road use.
What about doing something like this at a town meeting? You still, if you check everybody in, they have to be a town resident.
Mhm.
They get checked off that they're there.
Mhm.
Hand them a thing and say, can you please fill this out real quick
Mhm.
and return it on your way out?
Sure.
I mean, you might get some of the same people, but
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
it's just another way.
The thought was boy, if you set it out in every tax bill,
Yeah.
we're gonna get an influx of. Oh, we got about the same at town meeting is like a point to.
It was nothing that really stood out. It was all over the map.
Mm.
It wasn't like any concentrations in any generic area, and it was polarized too.
Well,
You
that's
know,
Vassalboro.
yeah. I mean, it was just
in my opinion, anyway.
You don't want to see some people want to see keep it rural. Some want to see zoning. Depends who you talk to. Bike paths, less bickering. That's a good one.
Well, keeping it rural and zoning is not, they're not mutually exclusive. Those aren't
Yeah.
dichotomies.
Yeah.
there was one that wanted more business though, Holly. So there was a more business and keep it rural. So those are opposites.
Discounts for paying
Depends
taxes.
on the type of business. There's local business and there's rural-based business.
Yep.
So it's creating more local, rural-based business and those infrastructures that support it. So
We don't know what they meant. They just said more. That was the problem. It wasn't.
Like my tree farm, is that commercial?
New transfer station one.
It could have been talking about that they want another pizza joint too. I mean,
Yeah.
who knows what they meant by more business?
Condolences, come on,
We don't need it.
More support for public
We
programs.
had a donut shop.
We do not need, yeah.
But that was a coffee shop, not a donut shop.
Okay.
There were certain.
Down there.
donuts, I'm sure.
What challenges do you see in town? Communication within town.
I'm sorry.
Cost of living's going up. More isolation of families, elderly, everyone. Less ability to walk within the East Village due to traffic. Lots of shoulders. I don't know, something we're working on. We're spending lots of money in public works. Okay, all the services we have now. Little discussion of what is the town's priority. I assume from our budget as education, property maintenance, health, welfare. We do a great job at maintaining property with fire protection, excellent roads, a pretty good job in education. But we have little investment in health and welfare of the people who live here or preserving the land and water for continued use. Use for agriculture, forestry, recreation, or sustainable use. More services for drug and alcohol prevention, algae bloom, crime, drugs, speed limits not enforced, spending money needlessly, getting people to vote, group zoning, traffic control, vandalism, affordable housing, sewer bill increase, places to walk. We got places to walk. We got trails.
Safe places to walk.
Okay.
Trails there.
Good road trail systems,
Yeah, that's true.
both town and private.
Anything else you like to write about? Junkyards, fan heat pumps.
We didn't want to ask.
Good job keeping on top of things. Oh, that was nice. Vassalboro is a rare oasis of rural life between urban areas. This is what
I've never
makes
been
it
noticed of any,
great for
been
me.
notified of any town meetings.
Stop doing burnout.
That's what I just read.
Yeah.
Some of the clerks don't seem like their job well.
Yeah.
Improve the visibility of the town manager and select board members outreach. Someone doesn't like the police officer.
Give a big raise.
Oh, but here's someone who says the opposite about the leadership is there's always challenges, but I have seen some excellent examples of good leadership. Keep it up. I think the new town manager is doing a good job. I like this survey.
Yeah, really.
Right back.
When you answered,
No, I did not write it.
Did you print it?
Okay.
It says give Kathy and Jean a good raise. And great job in the ball fields and ball grove and everything good. Oh, yeah, that's kind of the gist. I don't know how helpful that was.
That was very entertaining. Thank you.
It's entertaining at the very least.
Maybe if Stacy has some time the next couple of weeks, she can kind of just get a little bit more granular and find out.
Yeah, with, yeah.
The numbers.
So our direction is not clear.
Okay.
That's the question.